If nobody loved you correctly as a child, you are still living inside that house, right now, today, in your adult body. You don't remember most of your childhood, but your nervous system does. Every cold silence, every dismissal, every moment someone should have held you and didn't, your brain recorded all of it, not as memories, as blueprints. Blueprints for how the world works, blueprints for what you deserve, blueprints for how close you're allowed to let people get. And here's what nobody tells you. Most people carrying this damage don't even know they're carrying it. They just think, this is who I am. It isn't. Stay with me. When you're a child, your brain is doing one job, one single desperate job: survive. And to survive, it needs to understand one thing. Am I safe with the people around me? If your parents were warm, consistent, and present, your brain learned the world is safe, people can be trusted. But if they were cold, absent, critical, unpredictable, your brain learned something very different. It learned, I am the problem, not them, you. Because here's the brutal psychology behind this. A child cannot believe their parent is broken. That's too terrifying. So instead, the child decides they are broken. It's a protection mechanism, a survival trade-off. And that trade-off, it follows you everywhere. So what does this actually look like in adult life? It looks like apologizing when you've done nothing wrong. It looks like staying in relationships that hurt you because at least the hurt feels familiar. It looks like achieving everything on paper and still feeling completely empty inside. It looks like pushing people away right when they get close. It looks like a voice in your head that whispers, you're too much, you're not enough. Why would anyone really love you? Sound familiar? That voice isn't yours. It was given to you by someone who was too wounded themselves to give you what you needed. This is what psychologists call an anxious or avoidant attachment style. And it's not a character flaw, it's a scar. Scars have origins. But here's the part nobody talks about. The damage isn't just emotional, it's physical. Studies in developmental neuroscience show this clearly. Children raised without consistent love and warmth develop differently, structurally. The prefrontal cortex, your emotional regulation center, smaller. The amygdala, your fear and threat detection system, more reactive. Your body literally built itself around the wound, around the absence of love. So when you feel anxious for no reason, when you can't stop overthinking, when you shut down emotionally in conflict, you're not crazy, you're not weak, you are a survivor of an environment that shaped you. But surviving is not the same as living. Here's where we have to get honest. A lot of people use childhood wounds as a residence, not a reference point, a residence. They move in, decorate the walls, and live there permanently. And I understand that because the pain is real, the neglect was real, the loneliness was real. But there's a dangerous trap hidden inside that pain, the trap of waiting. Waiting for the parent who never came to finally come. Waiting for the apology that may never arrive. Waiting to feel worthy until someone outside you proves it. That wait can consume an entire lifetime. The uncomfortable truth is this: your parents may never understand what they did. They may never apologize. They may never change. And your healing cannot depend on that. It cannot wait for their awakening because you have already waited long enough. So what do? First, you name it. You stop calling your anxiety just how you are. You stop calling your emotional walls being an introvert. You look at it clearly and you say, this came from somewhere and it makes sense. That one act of naming is the beginning of freedom. Second, You reparent yourself. Yes, that sounds strange. Stay with me. Reparenting means giving yourself now what you should have received then. Patience when you make mistakes, gentleness when you fail, consistency in how you treat yourself, showing up for yourself the way no one showed up for you. Third, you find safe relationships, not perfect ones, safe ones. People who are consistent, who don't punish your vulnerability, who don't disappear when things get hard. And finally, therapy. Not because you're broken, but because some wounds need a witness, someone trained to help you excavate gently what was buried so deeply for so long. You were a child who needed love, and for whatever reason, it didn't come the way it should have. That wasn't a reflection of your worth. It was a reflection of their limitations. And the most quietly powerful thing you can do now is refuse to pass that wound forward, to yourself, to others, to the next generation. You are not the child in that house anymore. You get to decide what home feels like now. You always did. You just didn't know it yet.